What is good, TPA podcast? It's your boy Big Holla. We got a special guest today. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
It's YtnWink, man. What's going on? How you doing, bro?
Good, good. You want to explain the name for the people a little bit?
Yes, sir. YTN, that stands for Young Turnt Niggas. And
Mhm.
Wink is a name that I got in high school, so I just put them both together. So YTN Wink,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
How big your clique is? Not like YTN. Who does that consist of?
YTN consists of pretty much anybody who is a young turnt nigga can be YTN, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's really like, you know, there's YTN as like how YSL, like a lot of people claim YSL, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like I want it to be that type of thing. Like anybody could be YTN. Like
Okay.
if you fit the criteria, you could be in. Now there is designated members, people who I rap with and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But as far as like just the YTN name, like anybody could be a young turnt nigga. That's what my music embodies. That's why.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So you said music. So what have you been on like recently?
Just that's it. Just music and trying to crank out these shows and trying to be seen and heard as an
Yeah.
artist. You know what I'm saying?
Now we spoke a little bit before, and you said being seen and heard is like an important thing for artists to do. What do you think people get
For
caught
sure.
up in besides being seen and heard?
Shit, like most of the time, what I've seen being in this is like even with myself, like you start out being seen and heard, and then other things start coming in, like money and clout and women and stuff like that. And so you really gotta kind of hone in on what got you to that point in the first place, was
Yeah.
your craft being seen and heard, and all the other stuff is really just distractions from the common goal, from the ultimate goal.
Yeah. So like, what was the hardest distraction you felt like you had to like overcome?
Clout,
For real?
like, and like I'm not like super clouded, like hella followers on Instagram. I got good followers, but really it's the city we live in, like Atlanta. Like
Yep.
there's more like FaceTime celebrities. Like as I mean, like when you go out,
Mhm.
everybody knows you. Like you're like everybody treats you well
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And that was really something that I really had to like
Grow accustomed to.
grow accustomed to for real, because it went from me. I was always a popular dude and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
once it became like that,
Mhm.
like it gets hard for you to see what people are trying to be around you for. What, like
Yeah.
before it was like, all right, if this person want to be my friend, it's because they like me or I'm funny,
Yeah.
or like, you know what I'm saying. But it went from these people like me to everybody trying to like me, and now you gotta
Yeah.
kind of fish your way through that. So
Yeah.
that was real challenging for me.
How hard is it to see like your day ones? Obviously, you're probably still cool with your day
Mhm.
ones, but to see the love that everybody else gives you, as opposed to like, and sometimes it could come off as like fake love, because
Right.
obviously they only know the popular part of you. They
Right.
don't know like the dramatized part of our
Right.
real lives. So, do you ever run into like your day ones feeling the type of way with how you're spending your time with other people?
I'm gonna keep it 100, man. Ain't no such. I mean, there is such thing as a day one, but when you in this shit, man, ain't no such thing as a day one, because there's so much envy and jealousy and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Like the people who you would expect to really be going hard for you,
Yeah.
the people who know where you came from,
Yeah.
like it's the people who really hate on you the most. Look at young Dolph, rest in peace, young Dolph. He got killed in his own city
Yep.
buying cookies
Mhm.
from the cookie spot, like from somebody who should be proud of him.
Mhm.
Like they might not have known him, but it's a nigga from your city
Yeah.
giving back to your city and stuff like that. But it's that hometown hatred, that day one hatred. A lot of people that I used to run with when I, back in the day and when I first started rapping, I don't run with anymore, because it's just like a lot of, when clout gets involved and
Yeah.
money and all that stuff, like you really get to see who is who.
Yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure. So like they always say money's the root of all evil, but what do you think is the root of most deteriorations in friendships? Do you think it's the money, the clout, or the women?
I think I can only speak for me, and for me, I think it'd be misunderstandings,
Okay.
like communication.
Mhm.
Like a lot of things can be solved through good communication.
Yep.
But a lot of the times we let our pride get in the way, and just factors get in the way to where we can't even communicate this issue out. Anymore. That's where I think most of the friendship, because, for example, I might be feeling a way towards one of my mans, and them like, you ain't post my tape, or you ain't post this, or you ain't repost this, but I repost everything you do. But he might not have even been thinking about it, or did it maliciously. He might have just seen it, watched it, and been, you know what I'm saying? But like, sometimes niggas would be like, man, fuck that nigga, man. Like, he a hater. Like, I ain't even about to really jack him no more. Instead of just being like, yo, bro, keeping it real with your man. Like, yo, bro, I ain't like that. Like, I felt some type of way. You ain't post me up. Like, come on, bro. Like, but a lot of niggas will just let their pride get in the way and be like, man, and just let the relationship kind of simmer due to bad communication.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing, especially like being on a public platform. Sure. I think like sometimes our friends don't necessarily sign up to be our fans, right? Like they're your mans, right? So like when I see like a Avengers trailer, I'm like, yo, let me talk about this, right? Because that's what I'm a fan of. Sometimes people roles in our life is to be like our friends instead of like our fans. I think that happens too, especially when we're chasing a dream where people talking about you is the number one thing that's going to keep you afloat. Right. So I feel like that happens too.
And for I think it's like you kind of gotta. I don't take it personal. Me personally, I done seen so much stuff with like support and fans and stuff like that. Like, I've been having fans since I was in high school. Like, just off of being a little funny dude. Like, so like, I feel like people that you came up with don't want to be a fan of yours, like, because they feel like that's D-riding or something like that. They feel like people have turned genuine support and showing love into dick riding. Like, a nigga, I feel like he dick riding, supporting his homie. Like, nah, bro, that's not dick riding. Like, if your homie shit hard and you not posting your homie shit, you hating on your homie. Indirect. It might be subconsciously, but anybody listening to this podcast, man, if your homie got talent and whatever they doing, art, if your homie fix credit, I got a homie that fix credit. If your homie do paintings, whatever your homie do, if they do it well and you not supporting them, you hating on your homie. And that's whack. That's the whack part. Now, if your homie is pursuing something that you actually ain't feeling, express that. Don't sit there in that man face or that girl face and tell them that they painting is hard when you don't really like that. And then they don't understand now why you're not supporting their stuff. You just told me you liked it. Why you not supporting me? So that goes back to communication. Just keep it real with your people. And that's it.
So you talk about like overnight success and stuff. When was the first moment that you say, yo, I woke up yesterday and I felt like this, and I woke up today and I felt like I was this?
Well, really, I took a trip to LA, and we went out there and we ran. Well, I took the whole YTN at the time. I told everybody, come on, book them flights. I'm gonna make sure we comfortable out there, and we gonna go and we gonna turn up. And so we booked a mansion and we shot videos and stuff like that. And I was getting such a good response, you know what I'm saying, from LA though. But the moment where I really realized, like, oh shit, I really did something good. Like, I actually like propelled myself further. Like, is when I got back to Atlanta from that, and just the whole energy was completely different. Everybody just completely was treating me different. Like, talking to me different, like Instagram different, women different, money completely different, like everything is just different. And so like I went to LA with I'm gonna keep it real, I went to LA with a book bag, and probably after paying for the flight like $300, bro. And I came back with a lot more. So
Yeah.
it was like when I got home with all that, everybody was like, "Yo, what the hell?" Like it was niggas who I went to high school with, like kind of like I don't know, like salty or not salty, but like how the fuck, like
Yeah.
because people who known where you came from
Yeah.
feel like, man, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
But
They didn't see the book bag with $300 on a flight with your homies, like
you feel what I'm
spend it. They don't
saying?
see that,
You
right?
feel what I'm
They
saying?
just seen you jump from somebody who I went to school with, you know what I'm saying, that's trying to rap to yo, this nigga in LA,
Yeah.
he shooting videos. Like they look at that and you come back, everybody showing love. Oh my God.
But
You
man,
know what I'm
that shit was a
saying?
trip, man. That
Yeah.
shit was a trip to me, because like I said before, I always got showed love, like,
Mhm.
cause I always been popular. You know, we went to the same high school. That's a lot of
Yeah.
people don't know. We went to the same high school,
Yup.
so like we been rapping. Like we used to do freestyles behind the school. This man used to eat niggas up.
Yeah.
Like
Appreciate
we
it.
we've been doing this shit. Like we've been popular dudes. So
Yeah.
like it was such a stark contrast between like that type of popularity and like
Mhm.
people really like that don't even know you, like really liking you
Yeah.
and don't know you though. Like
Yeah.
do you even really know if you like me?
Yeah.
Like you probably don't really like me.
Yeah.
But you just see, and that was really a trip, man. That was a trip.
We had two moments in high school that I knew, like, because you know I faded away from everybody for a while, right? And I have like my own thing going, but we actually had a moment in high school, two of them, which was the battle, right? That went viral. And then the Facebook, Twitter thing. I don't know if you remember.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So,
for sure.
like my man's was on the news, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then you get people talk. I had people in Gwinnett that I've never even came in contact with talking about, oh bro, I rock with you. I'm like, you've never seen me before in my life, right?
Exactly. And that was that really, to be honest with you, before all that, before them back of the school ciphers, bro, I wasn't thinking about rapping like that. I knew I could, but I wasn't thinking about rapping like that, bro. That shit really made me want to rap for real. Like,
Yeah.
that shit really made me want to like I seen the sport in it. Like I seen the craft in it. Like that made it from me being just a fan of music to being a fan of the craft of rapping.
Yeah.
Like that shit was so hard to me. Like we got everybody after school in a circle and niggas just spitting like like that shit was we was just young niggas making it happen, like and to see that translate to today, to see what everybody's doing. You battled Prince.
Yeah.
Prince caught a 187.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy to see how everybody's life went from those times we all were sharing a common passion.
Yeah.
That's just fun.
I try my best to give back. I know as a rapper it's probably harder because like, especially I have like a reaction channel, so I know how hard it is to build yourself up in hip hop, let alone music. It's very hard. So like, have you ever had people like, hey, you know, give me this feature or hop in my video, and you really couldn't because you're really trying to like build yourself? Do you have any stories like that?
I really just had to post on Instagram and shit that I'm not doing no more free features, except for if we was locked in already.
Yeah.
If you YTN, or if we been doing music, or if I was supposed to get in the studio with you or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
I'll do a free feat or a free vid. But like at this point, it's like you gotta make this shit make sense a little bit, because people think that, oh, you a rapper, like, why this image is not free.
Yeah.
I'm not getting these clothes like these other rappers, these big sign rappers. They're getting all these clothes
for free
and stuff like that. Like everything you see me in, I'll be buying that shit.
Yeah.
So like this shit gotta start making sense. You know what I'm saying? These are investments on an image and investments on studio time, investments on cover art, videos, stuff like that. These are all investments in yourself.
Yeah.
As the same way as a BBL might be an investment to a OnlyFans girl.
Yeah.
Like these are investments in yourself that these shits need to end up paying off. So like features, like if you will reach out to me from just hearing my music and say I want you on my music, then that means that I have something that is worth something.
Yeah.
So pay me what I'm worth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to jerk nobody. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
trying to extra tax nobody. But at the end of the day, like, this shit is all about knowing your worth. Because if you don't know your worth, you let other people decide it.
Yeah.
I'm going to decide my worth before I let the next nigga decide my worth.
For sure.
For sure.
And I think that's like a concept that people struggle with. And I came to this conclusion a couple weeks ago, maybe like a couple months ago, when I took the hiatus from Instagram or the internet. I didn't get on the internet for 45 days. And I came to, because I was trying to figure out like why people wanted to pay me for my reactions when like they seem like certain videos get like 20,000, certain videos get 150,000. But like when I react to indie artists, they don't get it. Right. They don't get that much. Some of them do, you know what I'm saying? But most of them don't. Right. And I had to realize that people are actually paying for the eyeballs attracted to you, right? Or just to say like, hey, look, I had a song with him, or hey, look, this YouTube reactor that's what they're really paying for.
Exactly.
So I think that's like where the struggle comes in between people. But I say that to say, like, even with you and doing features, right? I feel like it's kind of, people look at the indie people or the people on the rise and they say, you're not them, so why am I gonna pay you?
Right.
But the thing is, like, Walmart wasn't Super Walmart all the time. Exactly. It was Walton's on the strip. They needed their community, right, to spend the money there so they can become Walmart.
So it could become Walmart, and so everybody could reap more benefits. Like, I know why people be so apprehensive about it too, because especially in this not even just music, in entertainment period, you will get fucked. People will use you. People will sell you dreams. People will take advantage of you. And so I feel like that a lot of times that's where a lot of the apprehension comes from, with just like from just flat out being willing to pay a nigga, because like I've paid a nigga for a feature and watched that man go in the booth and straight bullshit the feature I just paid for, and that made me understand like, oh, okay, so this is why motherfuckers be apprehensive to pay for a feature from a nigga who they didn't like. A Lil Durk feature, you know Durk gonna slap that hoe.
Yeah.
Or you know Durk being on that hoe gonna make it slap.
Yeah.
Like you paying. I actually paid a nigga on Durk's label for a feature. I got that song in the tuck named OTF Timo. Shout out Timo. But Timo, I'm gonna keep it 100. You came in and bullshitted the verse. Yeah. Like, and I didn't even put it out. Yeah. Because the people who I'm playing it for is like, this shit hard, but that verse at the end, you paid for that. And I'm like, he showed me love. Like, I met him in the gas station. He fucked with me. He did the feature for the low. But at the end of the day, I only say that to say, like, I feel like a lot of apprehension comes from not knowing what you're getting for your money when you're working with a more independent, less established artist. And I can understand that myself, because I'm an independent, less established artist. Yeah. So I understand, you know, how that works. But I know if I was to go hit a independent artist, upcoming artist that was ahead of me, I would have that respect to, if he is gonna charge me, all right, we'll do that business and do it like that. Like, it's all about, you know, respecting people's worth and respecting people's time and their craft.
I think you said something important that played into that fact, though, because I don't know him, right? So, but what I can say is maybe he's somebody who's rapping for the hobby, right? You're somebody who said, like, back in high school, you fell in love with the craft. And I feel like that's what, in entertainment, there are overnight successes that are just playing, right? Yeah. And then, like, when I did YouTube, I tried to put people on YouTube. Hey, here, this is the formula. You know, they didn't take it as seriously as I did because it wasn't their dream. Right. So if they were to go charge people to do something, they probably would, you know, because they're not in love with the craft of doing it, right? So sometimes that could be just what happens. But like you said earlier, also, it comes down to understanding or communication. Like, bro, listen, I'm not really a rapper, bro. I do this for fun because Durk's my man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the logistics of his relationship.
And that would have been fine if he would have told me that, yo, I mean, the verse wasn't terrible, so it wasn't no shit where I was like, yo, you gotta re-record that, I'm not paying. But it was just like, I know you didn't just let me wash you on this song like that. Like, you don't even care.
Yeah.
Like, that was more of what it was. Like, because as a rapper, I know if I'm getting in the studio with a nigga who has way less accolades than me, and he come and wash me on this song, and I did my verse first.
Yeah.
He heard the song was done. All he had to do was input verse here.
Yeah.
Boom. And for me, I'm like, you gonna let me wash you on the verse like that? Like, you obviously just don't care.
Yeah.
So that's where it wasn't like it was like, oh, this verse is whack. Like, it wasn't that it was whack. It was like the whole song was such a tempo and energy, and like the bars was going, and it was just like, you're not supposed to let a nigga wash you like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, to each his own. Like, everybody feels different about what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said.
So what was your latest show that you've had, like, to date?
My latest show was the show I did at me and Jose. Shout out Jose Mudd. We did a show at damn, I forget what bar that was, but it was a white bar. It was a whole bunch of white folks.
Yeah.
And this is when I had no videos out. I had no songs on any DSPs. I had like 2 songs out on SoundCloud. But niggas was fucking with him, so we performed, and that shit was lit because he was the bigger artist at the time. So like, it was like fun.
Yeah.
It was like fun. Like, I was recording, I was turning his shit up, like he was turning my shit up. Like, it was real good chemistry, that show. That was my favorite show. That was the most fun I had at a show. And I got to play with the white people and shit. Like, white people turn up. Like, yeah, I liked it that.
I think that's another thing that people I've seen in the internet. Like, there's this big disconnect between like hip hop and like letting white people be involved. I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel like it's a fictitious narrative.
For sure. That's us trying to get back at them for not letting us be rock stars.
Oh,
like that's, I feel like that's a black community getting back at white people for there only being one Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so now there can only be one Eminem, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, fine. Like, if that's how we gonna do it. But nah, I'm playing. I just feel like culture, like, you can, like Jack Harlow, for example, like, that's a white boy who you can tell understands maybe not our lives, maybe not our plight, but he appreciates our culture. Yeah. So it doesn't come off as a white boy trying to just like some Beastie Boy shit or something like that.
Or like people that's trying to come in to just capitalize off of what it is.
Just cap off shit, like a Slim Jesus or something like that. You remember Slim Jesus?
Yeah.
Like, nah, man, we're not doing that. So I think, but I do definitely want more inclusion of every race and community into hip hop, because we already the number one genre in the world. Yeah. So imagine if we had that inclusion of as different types of music have, like pop music or something like that. Like, imagine everybody listened to Dirk when he dropped something, or everybody listened to how everybody listened to Adele when she just dropped her shit. Like, imagine if it was like that for Ye. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The only person who was really like that for is Drake, and it's because he's Drake. Yeah. But like, as far as white people in the culture, I think when there's more like a Caucasian friendly artist, like there's more like anarchy attached to the music, less than like street shit, like Playboi Carti and Travis Scott and shit like that. Like, that's the type of artist that white people more gravitate towards as a mass, you know, race. Yeah. And then there's those, you know, white folks or just whatever race besides African American, you know, brown people or whatever. They like the drill shit, like, because it's the opposite of their life. So like, it's intoxicating to them. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And honestly, I be liking that shit. Like, I be liking that. Like, when I be seeing like a little white boy like really spitting some like Nudie or like Dirk or something like that. I'll be like some Vaughn. I be liking that shit. Like, Like, go ahead, young nigga. Like,
Yeah, I think because they get a chance to live a lifestyle that like they may see on video games and stuff like that. But the reason I think like a Travis Scott or like a Playboi Carti is more relevant to that culture is because like that's their life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I try to explain to people, especially like, you know what I'm saying, hood rappers, there's a ceiling, right? Because if I were to ask you what percentage of the world do you think is, or America is the hood, like it's not like a big percentage.
30%, maybe 20%.
Yeah, so you're making music that most people probably don't relate to.
And if they gravitate towards it, it's just because it's different. It's just because they don't. It's something where they don't come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, me, I be liking like one of my favorite songs is "You Belong with Me."
Oh yeah,
Taylor Swift. Like,
okay,
I don't relate to that shit, man. But like, I like it because it's like the complete opposite of what anybody would think that I like.
Yeah.
And like I like it. Like I like that song. Like T Swift going crazy on that whole like whatever. Like I feel like we should stop making people feel like why do people be ashamed to like music?
Yeah.
Like you should never be ashamed of what you like. Like you should never be ashamed to tell somebody like, yeah, that new T Swift joint is bubbling. Like, you shouldn't be afraid to
Ed Sheeran slap.
That Ed Sheeran slap, like that new Adele is going. Like, that's okay. Like, you can explore. You can be a fan of rap, a diehard rap fan, and still explore other genres. There's so much music out here, man.
Yeah.
And especially for rappers, that shit is gonna expand your reach.
Yeah.
If you can make a murder kill ass song, and then make a lovey-dovey ass song, and then make a different type of when you can be appeal to a whole bunch of different artists because of a whole bunch of different audiences because of the music that you've exposed yourself to. Like you would never know how to make a ballad if you ain't listened to a ballad.
Exactly.
Ever. So for artists, I think artists should study. If you do music, study music. Like you can't get no high ranking position at a label unless it's some nepotism shit without taking a music history class in college or something like that. Like you gotta know, you don't know where you going if you don't know where you came from.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of know the history. Like even if you know how to put words together in your head like a motherfucker, you gotta know why hip hop is it? Why do we do this like this? Why do niggas rap in the park and freestyle? Where did this come from? Somebody did this. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a whole history behind this. So, like I feel like artists got to tap into that, like for real.
So I seen you go on a campaign, right? You were like the Dior demon, right? So
the Dior Demogorgon for sure.
Demogorgon,
yeah.
Like, but you had like a problem with people who you felt were like copying the drip, right?
Man, it wasn't really, I felt like niggas was copying the drip. It was just kind of like real convenient how I would like buy a certain fit and like then I would just see niggas in the exact. It would be different if like, cause we live in Atlanta, bro. If you buying Dior, you're shopping at Saks just like everybody else. So like, okay, we all got this Dior from the same place, so we might have the same shirt, but you've mixed it with the same bucket and the same kicks and the same style jeans, like, but I don't be really caring about that shit. It'd be internet shit. I don't really be caring about that shit, but like I'm gonna care about it for the internet because I want people to know, like, nah, I'll be putting this shit on first. And be copying this shit, man, for real. On God, hold on, man. Niggas ain't seen this BB, man.
BB Simon belts.
Yeah, man. This niggas don't even know.
That's tough though.
This Kid Super, man. Niggas not even knowing about Kid Super. I think these purple jeans, them chunky dunkies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Fonny bandana. Been doing this, man. And watch after this video, you're gonna see niggas wearing Kid Super. And BBs.
I actually picked up BB Simon because that's like a West Coast thing, right?
It's actually a New York. It's actually a New York thing. Like when I was coming up in New York, that was the belt to have. Like
really,
everybody had the fake Jones though because we couldn't afford no $600 belt.
Yeah,
but like BBs in New York, Dipset Joel Santana and them,
true.
and Jim Jones and them. That's where I got it from.
Okay.
And then, but I did get it. Their store is in L.A. on Melrose. So
okay,
when I was out there, that's where I got my collection all at one time. Like, and when you shop at the actual store, they got like 101s. Like this, but I have on a 101. Like, then they handcraft all their belts that they sell in the store daily. They handcraft them.
That's crazy.
So BB Simon, best belts in America, made in the U.S. too. So if you're a patriot, get on that shit, man. And BB Simon, hit me up, brand ambassador for sure.
Facts, but that's good though. You know, I like Atlanta because we have like the space to be affordable for people to live here, but you also have the space for elevation and like entertainment, right? We got Tyler Perry Studios.
Yeah.
We got plenty of rappers from Outkast to like Lil Baby now that are like in the city, still in our city, right?
Still out here,
putting
still
people on.
around.
Thug just bought acres, you know what I'm saying, down in South Georgia.
Yeah.
But I want to go into this because this is the second time you referenced the LA trip, right? So walk us through. You bought the flights for all the homies.
I actually didn't. I actually didn't buy anybody's flight. I'm trying to think because I'm gonna take credit for that shit if I did.
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't buy any of my niggas' flights. I bought some different flights, but I didn't like. It was like. What it was I went out there dolo because I'm the type of nigga where, man, if this shit ain't, I got it, man, I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So I ain't know what was going on. Like, I took a chance. I knew a girl, rest in peace, Jenna. She lived out there in LA, and the moves I was making, I needed her. I needed somebody who lived in LA to be able to hold me down when I got there. So when I got there, she held me down. Fucking, I used the, like, I think the O Hotel in downtown LA. If anybody's familiar with the O Hotel, I booked a night at the O, and that night I had some things like really worked out well for me, and I came into a lot of money, and I went from having $300 to having much more. So like the next day, like I'm hitting up everybody back home, like, yo, it's lit. Like now, like don't like just get here, and I got you, I promise. And any nigga that was there, you can attest that I had niggas for sure. Like that shit was crazy. But I was out there dolo for the first like day or two, so I was just shopping, bro. Like I was just shopping. Like that's where the Dior Demogorgon was born. Yeah, that was I ain't gonna lie. The first taste of money I got, man, I tried to cosplay like Lil Baby. I swear to God, I tried to cosplay like Lil Baby.
That's crazy.
I was in the Dior store, literally just thinking about the first thing I bought was the bag that I seen Lil Baby post on his Instagram. Like, I'm like, nigga, I'm getting all this shit. I ain't never had none of this shit. I ain't never been to Rodeo. I have been to LA. I never been to Rodeo and could actually shop. Yeah. Like that shit was blowing the fuck out of my mind. Like, like, and then like people treating me like I'm on Rodeo, nigga. Like I'm in it, but I'm dolly though. Like, I can't, like, it would have been so much better. My niggas ended up coming, but like I was dolly, just like really going ham, like in the Saks on Rodeo, and it was COVID too, so it was like nobody was outside. So if I was to do that now, I would probably like it would probably be way more lit. Yeah. But it was not really anybody outside except for the niggas who was out there, you know, just being out there. So like it was like all attention on me. Every store I went in, like I was just, let me get one of those, let me get one of them, let me get one of them, try that shit on. Boom, next store, they giving me their cards. That shit was lit. And I'm on Instagram the whole time, like kid in the candy store, like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, on Instagram. Niggas is hating, like, man, what the fuck you got going on? Like, And so I was just really just shopping. I spent like $50,000. And then my boys came and we had a bum ass Airbnb
Yeah.
in Hollywood. I ain't even take no pictures in that shit.
Okay.
Like some bum ass shit. But it was my boy Jose's birthday, so I'm like, I'm really about to turn up for my nigga birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So we went and got to Beverly Hills. We was literally at the there. You couldn't go no more higher in Beverly Hills. We was at the top of Beverly Hills, like, and just everything that I did in that week was literally everything that people work their whole life for.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened to me overnight.
Yeah.
Like, just like that. And that shit really, like, that shit fucked up people who I loved's heads. That shit fucked up my head.
Yep.
That shit fucked up the girls I was involved with at the time's head. Because it's like,
they see
like,
that
nigga,
jump, then they like, this is the new floor. That's how they feel.
you feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, person I was dealing with at the time, like, really, really felt, and this shit was a big eye opener to me. Like, really, really felt entitled to, like, my bread.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like more of like a I was doing them a disservice by not just like
giving it to them.
You know what I'm saying? But man, I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Yeah.
Like, I used to let people. Here's one thing that I really, really like, a big message that I really want to get across is do not ever let these folks make you think you gotta do what they want you to do with your money.
Yeah.
Like, cause these folks will really try to put in your head and make you feel a motherfucker will make you feel broke, will call you broke because you don't want to give them money.
Yeah, for sure.
Huh? What does that mean,
Yeah,
bruh?
yeah, facts.
Or somebody will call you broke because you helped them out.
Yeah.
And now you give me, nigga. I don't care if you feel like I don't need it.
Yeah.
Give
It's principle,
it's
right?
The whole principle.
I tell people I had to explain this to people in my life recently, in the past. I said, listen, I never cared about money. I can get money, right?
Always.
It's about the respect, okay? Like, it's because if you
100%.
were willing, what if I did need it? You don't know my financial situation.
Know my financial situation.
So if I give you bread, willingly or unwillingly, because like sometimes it's unwilling. You may be out at the club, that ticket come, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You know what I'm saying? My job was supposed to pay me today, but I don't think it's gonna come through tomorrow. All right, bet, run it. I don't care.
Down.
Like, but now it's a respect. Now if you like, he don't. Look how quick he pulled out. He don't really need it. You know what I'm saying? I'll get it back to him.
Right.
Now you're disrespecting me. Yeah.
Like, when I come spin the block for my bread, you're mad at me for it?
Yeah.
And here's the thing about it. Like, when I do stuff for people, I like to consider myself a real nigga.
Yeah.
Because I do real nigga shit.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do stuff for people, I'm never gonna be like reminding you about it.
Yeah.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? I don't even be comfortable doing that. Like,
yeah.
I don't even like doing that. But when I spend for my bread, like, yo, you got that?
Yeah.
And you have the audacity to make me feel like I'm tripping.
Yeah.
That's when it's like, all right, so now you just are trying me. Now you're a peon. And it's like, also, people will, just like you said, like, damn, the bouncer need a dub. I don't got no dub. Like, hold me down. Got you.
Mm-hmm.
And then they like, this nigga probably gonna forget about that shit.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna pay that nigga back. It's only 20. I know that nigga got 20. You don't know anybody's financial situation. Just because, especially somebody who's making this shit happen on their own, making their dreams happen on their own, they're independent, they're, anything like that. Man, you gotta get these folks their money back, man, for real. Because that's another thing that spoils friendships. Like, when there's a friend with more money, the other friend might feel way more comfortable walking out the crib with no bread. Yeah. Don't feel that comfortable with my bread, though. Yeah. Like, that's where that shit be coming from. And I really just feel like I really just feel like the greed aspect of money is what makes it evil, because the money itself, you need it. You need it to. Dude, that's not the evil part. The evil part is the greed attached to it.
Yeah.
How the lengths people will go to obtain it, the lengths people will go to maintain it, the lengths people will go to just anything with having to do with money and greed is just such a bad look.
Yeah.
And especially in this business, because this entertainment business is a lot of like business heavy stuff, and if people can't trust you, like you burnt your face. Like,
yeah, I'll put it like this, all right? And I know there's gonna be people that watch this and they're gonna be like, hey, well, what, you shouldn't be faking like you got. Here's the thing, it's not necessarily the money. Like, I need the money to survive. Sometimes there's things that you have planned for yourself. Like, for example, like there was a situation that came up, right? I needed a second PC, but I had loaned out unwillingly like 2 bands.
right.
I have this money in investments, this money to take care of myself, this money to eat, you know what I'm saying, for the month. And this is my pile of money for my PC. But what happens is, when you take this, I'm not gonna take away from me eating. Right. I'm not taking away from my investments.
No, sir.
This is my disposable. You're cutting into my luxury income. All right. And I think that's what people don't understand. They're like, they see you have everything else, everything taken care of for you. What you need it for?
Right. Nah, it's not about that.
Yeah.
What it is people be pocket watching, and people be so intoxicated with the image that you can literally make somebody just feel like you're rich. Like, like, just because you wear nice clothes.
Yeah.
Or, like, I'm here to tell you, I'm a rapper. I be around rappers. I know rappers. Rappers
are broke.
Are not broke, because rappers be having more money than the regular
person. Yeah.
But when you see a rapper flex with 10 bands, you think 6 months later,
Mike,
this nigga has like unless he has like a consistent, like, he's doing shows and stuff like that. Like, if an artist, like, for example, I'm gonna put it this way. Let's say I do a show, I make 10,000. You see me post a video, flashing a little 10,000. You feel what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. Now, first of all, people don't even know what $10,000 looks like. So when you're doing that, they be thinking it's way more money than it is anyway. Yeah. So they're like, oh my God, this nigga has 100 bands.
Yeah.
And you're like, and so now they think that in their mind. They think you have 100 bands on Instagram. They see you in head to toe Dior. Now they feel like they could play little games.
Yeah.
Like, now, like, all right, this nigga having that shit.
Yeah.
So now I could invite him out to the club and not have a section. And knowing that this nigga is not gonna be in the club with no section. Yeah. So I'm gonna force this nigga's hand to buy a section. And so when we get in this section, I know this nigga's not gonna let the other rapper niggas and shit around be having bottles come into the section, and we don't got no babas. So I know this nigga gonna buy a bottle or two. Yeah. And I had girls, people who I literally grew up with, who I literally grew up with, bruh, and like helped, literally calling girls who I'm messing with at the time, like, tell AJ to that you want to go to this club tonight. We're trying to get a section. We can't pay for it. And the girl telling me like, yo, you know, such and such just called me trying to get me to get you a section. So boom, boom, boom. And like, this shit was happening, bruh. And y'all know who y'all is too. And that shit fucked up. And that shit fucked me up when y'all was doing that shit, because it's like, damn, I done really looked out for y'all folks, man. Yeah. And y'all just trying to backdoor me and just use me like. Shit.
Good people like, it's unfortunate in the world, good people get taken advantage of, right? And when people see that you have some type of influx of money from their perspective, right? Because people don't understand when you're climbing, you're literally like, your money is your energy to climb, right? And until you get to the top, you got to keep spending money. So now you're taking away. I don't mind. If I'm a millionaire, listen, buy the club, all right? We'll go to the, but I'm trying to let me get there.
Get there first.
Yeah.
Let me get there first. Like, everybody, for example, I do it. I'm not going to say no names, but like, it's a rapper on Instagram that I was really rocking with. Like, I'm thinking this nigga having that shit. I'm thinking that don't make me not rock with him as an artist or nothing like that. Like, that shit don't really got nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
But like, and I kicked it with the nigga, and it was just like, it was just different. And so like, I know for me, I always tried to maintain that image. Like, when people meet me from just knowing me from Instagram, it balances out. You know what I'm saying? But it comes to a point where you keeping trying to impress people and keep up with an image is really not helping you.
Yeah.
Because it's taken away from other things that you could be doing to further yourself. Like I said at the top of the podcast, this shit is about being seen and heard.
Yeah.
Me personally, I be doing too much of the being seen a lot. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's people know you rap, people know, but like,
they don't
the
hear
music has to speak for it too. And so that's more of what I'm trying to get into now, is having, I got the face card now. What I'm finna sell these folks, like, and like these they gotta hear this shit, like they gotta come together. So yeah, man. That's
why I kind of like, when I started YouTube, I remember I was in college. I remember I had like 2,000 subscribers. I did my presentation on my YouTube channel, because it was like, give us a successful business, right? And you were supposed to say what made it successful. So I'm like, nigga, I'm gonna do my YouTube channel. And I will never forget. All right, this girl, you know what I'm saying? We not gonna put no names out there, but I remember the energy change. I'd known her like by face for a while, right? But the day I showed that, she looked at that 2,000 subscribers and was like, yo, this nigga got it. I'm about to be on this.
Like a steak.
And like, that was the first time that I felt like somebody looked at me like a means to an end.
Opportunity.
Right? Exactly. Now, it didn't go anywhere after that. I could just tell by the way the conversations changed after that in class. But then when I started getting up there, people started seeing me on like the Brandy versus Monica versus. They like, yo, this man Holla got 60,000 people watching him right now. People text me like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Shout me out. I had people getting mad at me. Look, listen, I got 60,000 people in my chat, right? I have to entertain these people.
Right.
And people were seeing me after and was like, bro, you ain't see my comment? I'm like, no.
Like, is you crazy, fool?
Bro? And then it was like, bro, I remember my home, not really my home, this dude I know, right? He was like, man, when you said when you read my name, you were just like, oh, shout out such and such, and then that's all you said. I'm like, I expected you to be like, yo, this my man's, this my brother. I'm like
what,
bro? I can't. I know how to curate content, and that is not good for the other 60,000 people.
Right. Facts.
So people look at you like that. That's it. But that's the reason I started this podcast, because I finally got to this point where I can give back to people. I can put a platform out there to like people to leapfrog off of that isn't gonna hurt my trajectory. Right.
Facts. And I feel like when like stuff like this is important, like I feel like when you know, there's these types of things, there's always, when there's genuine interaction, there's always a spin. There's always a spin back, whether it be, there's always something good that comes out of genuine interaction. Always. Yeah. There's never, if both people are being genuine about what y'all are doing, there's rarely ever anything bad that comes out of that. So, like, I feel like that's important for us to start bridging the gap between YouTube and rappers and stuff. We all on the same platform. Yeah. My videos is on the same platform as your videos. So it's like, if we both doing this, why would we not? You could fuck around and this shit, something I said in this interview or this podcast could fuck around and go viral.
Exactly, yeah.
And now both of us are reaping mad benefits off of just a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So,
and then even when I was building this, I had people using my name to get clout in circles. They would be like, yo, my man's, he got this. We could do this for you. I'm like, what do you mean we, my nigga?
Right.
Like, and I'm like, and the reason I didn't want people doing that is because y'all don't understand the business of YouTube or social media progression, period.
Right.
So if I can't hit people up and be like, hey, bro, I can do this for you. And then it ends up messing up where I could be to really help them. Right.
Facts.
So I didn't want to run around telling everybody like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Throw me 50, you know what I'm saying? I got you. I'll put a reaction up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do that yet.
Right.
But I had people around me that was going around doing that. Like,
trying
hey,
to
bro,
already put that in position, but
I'm
you
like,
wasn't ready for that yet.
Yeah.
You wasn't trying to be on that at that time yet.
Yeah.
For sure. And I feel like some people try to, when they see somebody close to them succeeding in something, they try to like put their 2 cents in what they would do with it.
Yeah.
Or like how they would, like one of the funniest things is when I be in the studio with people, especially people who don't make music, and they be like, yo, you know what you should say?
Yeah.
You should say this. And I'll be like, oh, word. And then just never say it. And that shit kills me because it's like, bruh, do not bring your ass in this booth and tell me what the fuck I should say.
Yeah.
I ain't never needed you to help me this far. Now, constructive criticism is always good in any craft, you know what I'm saying? But it gotta be, I ain't letting a nigga that
some people just want to be attached to the success.
Right.
They're like, hey, when that song play on a radio or come across like a YouTube video,
I told him to say that.
Yeah, hey, bro, I told him that's really what people want to do.
That's really what it is. And me, I'll be keeping it so real that like, even if, cause sometimes like I'll be in the studio with somebody and they'll be like, yo, you should say it like this, or you should say this bar. And if I use it, I'm gonna give you writing credits on my song.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the song, it's gonna say your name
Yeah.
in the composers. Like, cause I just feel like that's what music is about. It's a collaborative sport.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a like battle arena or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a collaborative sport, and I think the whole Drake and Meek thing really kind of made collaborations that are not public, it kind of demonized it because it's like, oh, the biggest rapper has a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
But music is collaborative, and rap is the only genre of music that people feel like you gotta write and think up every single thing you spit or it's nan.
Yeah.
Like, this is the only genre. All these pop stars, all these R&B singers, Chris Brown, Rihanna, all your favorites Beyonce, Adele, they do not write their music. There's somebody writing their music and they're singing it. They write some, I'm sure some of them write some of their stuff, but the vast majority, if you go through a vast majority of other genres, more popular artists, and just if you have Apple Music or whatever streaming service, just go on the lyrics, and at the end of the song, I guarantee you're going to see not that person's name, or that person and like 5 other people, or like that person and like 10 other people, because it's a collaborative sport. And that's why those genres sell those types of numbers, because when you got a song like, and Drake taps into that good, and that's why he's where he is at too. When you got a song that you had so many genius hands in it, like you can't really go wrong with that. So music itself is such a and it's so beautiful when it can come together like that in a collaborative way, as to where you might write something and how you deliver it it's not, but how the next nigga might deliver it is like crazy. Like, for example, with the whole Quentin Miller and Drake situation, like if you heard the reference track of Quentin Miller, if you would have just heard that song, you would not bump it. You would
Yeah.
not put it on your playlist. But Drake's cadence, Drake saying it and singing it, gave it that, ooh, that 10 band, 50 band, 100 band, fucking man. Like, it was just different. And so that's the collaboration in it, as to where about a lot of people's egos in raps be too big. Like, I'm not finna give this nigga my bars.
Yeah.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? But we got to get out of that, man. We got to start playing how the rest of these folks play.
Yeah.
We've been so mind fucked because the majority of rap music is African Americans. We've been so mind fucked into believing that all of us are in competition with each other, and all of us need to have this crab in a barrel mentality and step on each other to get to the top. Nah, bro, we can literally do this shit together and ascend together. Power in numbers.
Yep.
You don't think that me putting this shit out and doing all this shit by myself, rather than it being 10 of us all putting this shit, like, you got 10,000 followers. All right. One nigga with, let's just say this, one nigga with 10,000 putting something up, or 10 niggas with 10,000 putting something up.
Exactly.
What do you think is going to be more lucrative for everybody? You feel what I'm saying? So we got to get off that.
I think it all comes down to, that's why I asked in the beginning, what do you think the biggest like destroyer of relationships is? Women, money, or clout? And I think it plays into clout. Nobody wants to play behind the camera, right? Everybody sees when people go out with you, if they helped you write a song and they see like you, like, hey, bro, you see them? They quoting that line that I wrote, right? Or look, these people tagging him on Instagram saying the line that I wrote. That should be my love. I'm gonna become a rapper. Fuck this nigga. That's how they be feeling. Yeah. But people don't understand the bigger mission, bro. Like, the writers really be out here eating. The writers got way more money than the rappers.
They don't even know it.
Yep.
Bruh. And this is another important thing. This is some real game. That an old head gave me that I want to share. Like, and I was just telling my homie this last night. Let's say you sign. Stay independent for as long as possible, bruh. Like, stay independent for as long as possible. Because as long as possible, that's the key word. Don't fuck yourself trying to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
If you know you got talent, you know these folks is willing to put money behind you, get yourself a lawyer, look these contracts over, and take that motherfucking money and work hard. But if you can, stay independent as long as you can. These contracts are not good for us. Once you start getting into the real music business and with labels and stuff like that, let's say I signed to Young Money for $1 million. Off the rip, taxes. So let's just say $1 million. That's put you probably eligible to the 30% tax bracket.
Yeah.
Around that. So off of your $1 million already, you only getting 70 cents on the dollar. And then you gotta pay your manager
15
to 20. So let's just say 20 for better math. That's already only 50 cents on the dollar that you're recouping. And let's say you got an agent that's taking 10. So now you only seeing 40 cents on the dollar. That means if you're lucky and if you are actually doing good business off of $1 million deal, if you did great business, you walking away with 400.
Yeah.
That's no good.
Yeah.
It's good, but we gotta find a way for us not to need these folks no more, bruh.
But see, this is where I would have to not necessarily disagree, right? But like how we say music is a collaborative effort, business is also a collaborative effort.
True.
I think what happens is artists, they find out how much the label's really making, but they don't understand this label has been
doing stuff for them.
Yeah, not even that, has been moving for 40 years.
Facts.
So you're benefiting from what they did 40 years worth of business contracts,
sweat
deals,
equity.
and sweat equity. Exactly. And I think, and everybody uses Russ as the independent person, right?
Yeah.
That says he's independent. Look what he got. But you got to look at the flip side too. Look at Drake. Drake is somebody, he never came to the record label and said, he just worked with him. All right, this is what I got to do. All right, bet. Let me go do what I got to do. And y'all, I don't care that y'all are making billions, right? Because my check is going from the 5 million to the 10 million. Now I show up 20 million, 40 million for this album, and I get. And you see, he's able to. When you work with them, they're putting Drake in positions where he's a like a co-owner of caffeine because you're working, so
become more of a partner.
Exactly, because that's really what they do. Because but a lot of people don't understand, like, the risk is, say I sign you and I sign 40 people, right? The reason they're able to give out this money to try to see if you work is because 40 people showed up and we gave all y'all advances. You're the only one that's making, so your money funds all the 39 failures, right? But if you work with us, we're going to get you to a status to where you will get those checks. And that's, I think, now, I think the thing that people don't like about it is you got to play the game. But that's business. If you don't want to do business, then stay independent.
And also, it's like I said earlier about just trust in this industry. It's like, signing isn't always bad. Like, when you sign a fucked up contract to some fucked up people, that's when it's bad. But you never know who's rotten until you go through it. And so, I mean, we all hear the horror stories of the music industry from our favorite artists. My favorite rapper is Jadakiss. That nigga, The Lox, was in a chokehold by Diddy up until like last year. Like, been in a chokehold. Like, they just got to start making money off their masters and stuff like that. And that's one thing that I'm not gonna, well, let me not say that because anything can happen, but that's the one thing that I'm trying to avoid is having to give up my masters, because I feel like that's like signing your baby up for adoption, or like, you know what I'm saying, like letting somebody else have your baby, you know what I'm saying, like, because that's really how I feel about like my music. Like I'm really selective of who I let hear it, just how like people are selective who they let see their baby when it first is born, until like, you know, it grows a little bit, just like until the song grows on me. I'll, you know, let people hear it. But like when I first make this song, only a certain, I don't know why, but only a certain amount, like certain people can hear it first, because it's like my baby. Like, I might even feel a way if you honestly don't like this shit. You feel what I'm saying? So like, that's why I kind of like go to the people who I respect and trust their opinion the most first with the music, because even if you don't like it, I'm not gonna get mad at you, because like I respect your opinion. But it be like when you record a song and then just go post it on Instagram and get those response, and then it's like, this has personally never happened to me, but like, it's like, oh, this shit is nan, like this shit sucks, like like it's like, damn, like, that's like one of my biggest fears, is putting out a song and the majority of people are thinking it sucks. Like, that's like a real anxiety I have.
Get one of them YB in the mirror.
You tracks, feel what I'm saying? That, cause because YB, shout out Namir, man, but Namir be really thinking his shit is hot, bruh. And that shit is not hot, and that is people not being real with him. That's people not being real with him. Anybody with 2 ears could tell that shit is not gas. But him probably being the breadwinner in his circle, he probably got a lot of yes men around him. You feel what I'm saying? So he probably not. Anybody who hears my music, or anybody who I let hear my music before it's released, or, you know, anything like that, I want your honest, dead-ass opinion. I don't want you to tell me what I want to hear, because I'm already telling myself what I want to hear. Everything I spit is gas to me. You feel what I'm saying? So I need you to tell me, to confirm that, or to like tell me like, I don't know, bro, this one might not be it, and I might not even listen to you. I might say, no, you tripping. But that's, at least I could get those, you know, perspectives and stuff like that, because once it becomes on a mass scale to where my song is on academics and I go in the comments.
Yeah,
and I
people
see all
spinning
these
L's.
fire and trash emoji
Yeah.
and L and who is this nigga and this nigga looks like a dyke and all types of crazy shit. Like I be
Yeah.
getting crazy comments like niggas. Like, I be getting crazy ass comments like if people saying crazy shit. But I think it's funny because I always been a comedian.
Yeah.
So like, and I used to be fat. So I used to get roasted a lot, and I used to
Yeah.
have to know like
How to
come back. Like that's what made me
Yeah.
really comfortable in my skin too, because wasn't shit a nigga really say to me, because I'm finna fire your ass all the way up if
Yeah.
you call me fat in here in front of you
And
girls.
because you're hitting me where you think it hurts, I'm gonna hit you where I know it's
it
gonna
hurts.
hurt.
I don't care that you're calling me fat. I look at myself every day in the mirror.
Yeah.
I know this already. Do you know that you're actually ugly?
Yeah.
Like, do you know that bitches actually think you smell bad?
Yeah.
Like that's
You know what your boyfriend was on last week? Oh, all right then.
Yeah, like that's the type of shit.
Yeah.
So for sure.
Yeah, that bro. But that's good. That's why I always tell people, like, because I grew up, you know what I'm saying? I was short. I wore basketball shorts all the time. Because, listen, we used to go in Macy's. That's why I still don't dress like now, that even though that I have, like, more money than I used to. My mom used to go in JCPenney's. She said, look, y'all got $60. Make it work.
Make it
all
happen.
right? So I can get one pair of jeans and, like, 2 shirts. Or I can get 7 basketball shorts and about
On the
7
hood.
graphic tees. I was in there making executive
On the
decisions.
hood, bro.
So
and we went to a school that like niggas was having bread, like
yeah,
like kind of like, cause like when I moved from New York, like I'm thinking I'm really about to come to Jim Crow.
yeah,
Like I'm like, bro, this shit is crazy. Like
Yeah.
I literally did not talk to my mom for weeks, bro.
Yeah.
I was so hurt and mad. I'm like, why are we going here?
Yeah.
Like my first week going to school out here, my bus stop was at the front of the neighborhood, and the bus would let me off, and every day after school, the same nigga would be behind my bus, white dude, and call me a nigger and speed off every day.
Yeah.
And one day for a week, and me in my mind just thinking this how Georgia is.
yeah,
Like I didn't even tell my mom.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, bro, this nigga tripping. Like this is
Yeah.
really how this shit is. Like, and one day my mom was picking me up from the bus stop, so I didn't have to walk from the front of the neighborhood all the way to home. And she seen the nigga. She seen me, like she seen it, but she
Yeah.
didn't hear what he said. She just seen that he had yelled something to me.
yeah,
And I wasn't too happy about it. And I got in the car. She was like, "What you say to him? What he say to you?" And I told her like, "That nigga been calling me a nigger like for the past week."
yeah,
And she booked it like in the car, like fast Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Like to get behind this nigga, cut him off.
Said, "Mess
got
with
out
my
the
family."
whip like, "You calling my son a nigger?"
Yeah.
Da, da, da. You know what the nigga told my mom? He said, "No, I was on the phone with my friend. That's how we talk." But the nigga was calling me a nigga for like a week. But yeah, this shit was like such a stark contrast when I moved out here, like
Yeah.
like going to school. And I said that to say, like, because you were saying about like that you had $60, like you gonna get them 7 pair of basketball shorts. Like
Yeah.
like when I moved out here, it was like, yo, these kids are having whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not having whatever I want.
yeah.
Like niggas is having Jordans every Saturday.
Yeah,
Like you getting the J's every Saturday, bro.
yeah,
Like, and it's black kids like me too.
yeah,
Like, and I'm seeing this shit, and I'm going over my friend's house, and these niggas is having big houses,
yeah.
and I'm like, bro, what the fuck going on?
But
My
they
house
act
don't look like
like
this,
they from,
but
like-
they act like they from where I'm from.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's really going on here?
Yep.
But like that shit was good because like it made me understand white people more, and like kind of like start liking white people more, and like it made me, and just like a lot of different races, just being in such a multicultural environment.
Yeah.
And it made me this like chip on my shoulder. Like I used to come in there and terrorize them folks every day. You know, I used to come in there and terrorize them folks every fucking day just because I hated that I was thrown in this environment without, like, I felt like I was just thrown in somewhere without the necessary tools to fit in.
Yeah.
And, like, I had to do something myself to, like, fit in, because my old school in New York, I was the most popular nigga there. Like,
Yeah.
like when you're the most popular person anywhere, like, you want to maintain that shit. Like, that's just a feeling as a human. Like, so when I'm coming to this new school, this new state, I don't know nobody here. I'm really feeling lost. Like, I'm really feeling lost, like, on some real shit. And that's why I used to come to school and act a fucking fool until I didn't care how motherfucker was gonna know who I am. Yeah. And so that's just what I like. That whole news shit, bro. Let me tell you, a lot of people don't even know this, man. That shit, like, I tweeted that some girl posted something on Facebook. She didn't even it wasn't like she sent it to me. A lot of people think she sent it to me. Yeah. Like, it was, she posted this crazy picture on Facebook, and I was like, what? And so I posted it. I posted it on Twitter. On Twitter, and it just happened to go viral. Like it went crazy. Like, that
you
shit.
Posted it, and, like, I think, because I remember I was working at the movies at the time, and my thing was in there. My shit was blinging, nigga. Bruh. Because I was like the Twitter demon. People used to tweet me and be like, hey, they roasting over here. Come hop in,
get
bro.
In this bitch.
And I remember when I got off work, you had posted like 45 minutes before. It was at like 70,000 retweets.
Bro, that shit went. There was people in Africa talking about this girl. Like, and in retrospect, you know, if I knew where she was at right now, I'd probably, like, say sorry or something.
Yeah. Like, I said sorry to Jasmine.
Follow on. Really?
Yeah.
That's good. That's growth. Like, if that's growth, if I was to see her today, I would apologize for it, because at the end of the day, she probably didn't know what she was doing, posting it on the internet, and I knew it. I took advantage of the situation for personal gain, but like, that was what I knew. As soon as it was something, it was just something. As soon as I seen that fucking picture, I was like, oh yeah. This is gonna be good. Yeah. And because at the time, like, you would catch so much flack for wearing Team Jordans. Yeah. She had on Team Jordans. Yep. Everything about it was crazy. So it was just, like, crazy. And then when I went to school the next day, they actually tried to expel me for it.
They tried to expel me too.
There was no rule in the county yet for social media, anything like that. Like, this was before any of those rules were made. Yeah. And so they didn't know what to do with me. So they were just like, we kicking you out. Nigga. Like, you did way too much this time. Like, and my mom was like, fuck no, like, you're not finna kick him out of school. Like, for what? Like, he just posted a picture, like, from a different website. And so that's how the news got involved. It was because it was like an unjust expulsion. Yeah. Like, luckily we didn't play the race card at the time, but it was just like some why are you trying to take away my education for something that happened at home, first of all, and something that was obviously some kid shit, some social media kid shit. Like,
it's because those people, and when I say those people, they're a set of people. Now, it's not particular to a race or anything. There are certain people who don't want anybody that's not like them to be a part of their culture that they feel is above, right? Word. And at the time, we had AP that was just like, bro, just wanted people. So that's probably why it happened.
That is, I feel like that was really what spearheaded it, and so that's why I guess because Fox 5 had reached out to us, and we were slated to do Fox 5 the next day. And then out of nowhere, Channel 11, Alive News, just knock on the door. Yeah. Like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, oh, it's time. Like, this shit's crazy. Yeah. Like, and so we did the interview, and he like, all right, it's going to air at 6. Like, just look out for it at 6. So I'm on the motherfucking internet. Like, yo. Because at the time, they really had expelled me. Like, I was really expelled. So I'm at home all day. Like, you know, people were free AJ, free, you know what I'm saying? It was cool. But, like, at the end of the day, like, I was on punishment and shit. Because even though I didn't do nothing, your mom's still mad at you because you got kicked out of school. So, like, I was dealing with mad shit. And I just wanted to go back to school. Like I missed girls and shit like that. Like, this shit was shitty. So, like, like when the news came, like I put on my best, like I don't know, like this shit, like I just posted, I didn't know it was gonna go, like do this, like what's going on, like I'm just a kid, like, and it worked. They let me come back to school and shit, but then I just like when I came back to school,
they was on you,
bruh. It was like the X was painted on my back. It was, nigga, I couldn't sneeze wrong without getting a referral.
Yeah.
By the time, but what a lot of people don't know is I was plugged in I'm not gonna say how, but I was plugged in at the school as to where when I got panel, bro, I had 162 referrals.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to get paneled way before that. At like 30 referrals or 60 or something like that.
Yeah.
And the plug that I had was keeping me in school, man. It's keeping me in school. And I was just, every day, like I said, I would go there and keep fucking up, keep terrorizing them folks. But the reason they weren't kicking me out is because I was smart as fuck.
Yeah.
And I would have good grades, but I would just be doing dickhead shit all day. And they'd be like, bro, like it would be some, you know how there's certain teachers and APs and stuff who really actually do want to see you do good. Like, bro, if you just put your attention to like everything that you're doing right now, take it from negativity and trolling to like actually something, you're gonna do well.
Yeah.
But at the time,
it didn't click.
You feel what I'm saying? All I was thinking about was get back. Like, I'm finna terrorize y'all folks for what y'all try to do to me. Like, now I'm gonna really give y'all a reason to try to demonize me. Yeah. And I used to, but at the end of the day, I wasn't even doing like any crazy shit. Like, I was doing shit like wearing bunny suits to like basketball games, like trolling the mascot, like fucking dressing up as a girl because they literally told me I couldn't come to any sporting events at the school no more. They banned me from all sporting events. And like it was a good game too. Like I think there was like some girls from another school coming, and I was like, bro, me and KT was at my house, and we like, bro, we got to go to this game. And I'm like, bro, I can't go. So he's like, my mom was out of town, and so we in my mom's closet, like, yo, at first I drew on a beard with her makeup. And he's like, bro, that's just not gonna work. And so I'm like, bro, how am I gonna get in this bitch? And he like, bro, just put on one of your mom's wigs, put on some of her clothes, and just go as a girl, nigga. And I'm like, bad. Yeah. Like, so I did that, and it worked. Like, I got in, but like all the student section was just like, yo, like pointing over, like it made it a big spectacle, and I ended up getting suspended for that. And like what sealed the deal with me and high school was a smack cam. That's what I ended up ultimately getting. All the shit I done did in that school, and what they ultimately sent me out for was a smack cam in the locker room. But you know, it's whatever. I took that experience and it really made me realize that sometimes you can't just crash. Like you gotta play these folks games sometimes to get where you gotta go, and then you can talk all the shit. Tell the assistant principal he a fuck nigga when you walking across that stage. Don't fuck your own shit up.
Future up,
trying to get back at these niggas who's already established. That's what I want the youngins to know and shit like that. Like, especially like young kids who like I be around, who like see what I be doing and hear what I be talking about, and might hear this story like, oh, like fucking around in high school is fun, but like
you got bigger goals,
you got bigger fish to fry. Like, if I could go back, I would do the exact same shit, but maybe a little bit different as to where I would have not put myself in so much jeopardy, like myself. And luckily I have a different talent and different talents and different ways to make livings and stuff like that. But if I would have really like not had anything else, but like some people don't have anything else but to go to college and do stuff like that. Like, if I didn't really have anything else, I would have been completely and utterly fucked. Like, I would have had to go to the army or some shit. Like, I would have been completely and utterly fucked because like I would have been able to go to college still. Like I graduated, but like it was like I really was like stained. Like
Yeah.
I started catching charges, going to jail.
Yeah.
Like and when you in school and you going to jail, like there's no makeup work for you going to jail, nigga.
Yeah.
You were absent.
Yeah.
So like shit was just real like fucked up when I ended up starting to go to alternative school. The only reason I got out of that bitch is because the people in there knew I was smart, way smarter than like they wanted me to get out. Like they was like, you don't even like. I was probably like one of 10 seniors that even make it to senior year in the game. Like so, like they actually wanted to see me get out of there, so they helped me out. And shout out them people that give. That school gets a bad name too because it's the alternative school, but they actually care. And but message to the youth, man, get that school shit done, because when you get to, I noticed going out to the club and doing all this shit and popping babas looks intoxicating, but you gonna wish you could just wake up and eat cereal and motherfucking, and all you had to do was worry about the test you got on Friday. Like that's the only thing you got to worry about. Like you gonna miss that shit, so cherish your shit while it is and do right.
Bro, listen, I feel like we came with two different mindsets, because I didn't come through Mountain View. I was a permissive transfer. I came from Central. So Central was like the black school.
Right, yeah.
We were like, we were on the news. They sent the whole Gwinnett County PD to one of our football games because a fight broke out with, I think, Shiloh. Crazy. So I come to Mountain View. These are all like, I come from, and this is my parents from Central, we were like upper middle of Central, right?
Central.
But like when I go to Mountain View, I'm like,
automatically.
I'm seeing bro. My first car was a Honda Accord 1990, bro, and I bought it for $300. I had to get it fixed up, and I was going back. Kids was driving Benzes to school,
big lifted Jeeps,
bro. What
trucks?
Crazy.
I'm like, yo, what? One kid have a Porsche or something like that? Like these niggas was really getting off on us. Like,
Coach Perry?
Yeah.
So do you know the story that happened with him?
I don't, but he had like NFL sons and stuff like that when his sons died and stuff like that. He was the basketball coach.
Yeah,
right?
basketball coach. But so they got rid of him because he was trying to help the black kids, all right?
Right.
So when he did his retirement thing, mind you, the school only been open 3 years and they fired him. He came, he got on stage, he said, he opened his jacket, he said, look at all these bullet holes they put on me in here. They tried to blame because he was protecting kids that were on the team that had, because we were getting permissive transfers, kids from other schools, because our basketball program wasn't doing good.
It was a brand new school.
Exactly.
It couldn't do good yet.
In Gwinnett, on top of that, we got Brookwood.
6A, right?
Yeah, 6A. So he said he had that whole speech, right? And he's the one who my mom got in contact to get me into the school, right? Okay. And I get there. They was trying to speed run, get me out of there. But like, I was smart. I always was able, like, I never had a referral. I was always good enough with some people in power to the people who in power that didn't like me couldn't do nothing. Right. So there was an incident. Something happened and the police showed up and this is like my third week at Mountain View, right? I was cool with certain people, and one person was from the Give Center. One person was just transferred to the school or about to transfer to the school, and we went to the homecoming. I got there like 2 weeks before homecoming. We go to the homecoming game, a fight's about to break out, and it's with a student who thinks he's like from where we're from, but isn't. You know what I'm saying? And he felt threatened. So they go on Twitter. Look, my Twitter got me in so much trouble, bro. We go on Twitter and they're talking, and I'm like, because I know where I was raised. Now the people I was talking to, they're also like, y'all didn't have to do this. Y'all didn't have to be like this. And I'm telling them, like, bro, stop talking on the internet. We know where he stay at, bro. Like, so the next day they called me in the market. This is when the AP they called me into the office, Gwinnett County PD in there. And they sit me down there. It was like, hey, are you being bullied on the internet? And I'm smart, bro. I've dealt with the police. I've been around people who did bad things, but they kept me out of it, right? So they said, have you been bullied? I'm like, no, I don't know. Nobody bullied me, bro. Like, I don't really care. Went back. They call on the intercom like 10 minutes later. And they're like, can you send Keith back to the blah, blah? I come in, there's like, and the AP, he says, why'd you lie to me? I said, you asked me if anybody was bullying me. Nobody's bullying me. I answered your question. Right. He was like, but you know what we were talking about? I said, no, I answered the question that you asked me. So they pulled up my DM. They were like, so what does this tweet mean? Because apparently the kid's parents came to the school and he seen the tweet, told his parents he feared for his life.
If you was like that, your parents wouldn't be coming up to the school.
Exactly.
That's different conversation.
So that whole thing happened. He was like, you're a permissive transfer. I could kick you out of school, blah, blah, blah. But Coach Perry protected me from that, right? And then with your thing, it got on. So I got on Twitter after work. I'm flaming. I'm killing her, bro. And then, I'm cooking her on Twitter. And then I put on Twitter, I say, yo, when I get to school tomorrow, I'm flaming her. Now, mind you, they think I'm a violent person already. Right? But I've never done nothing violent in school, nothing. Ever. So I get there, and I asked to go to this is where I messed up. I asked to go to the bathroom during her lunch period so I could catch her in the hallway and be like, but look, I'm walking down the hallway with my arm around her laughing. Cause like I'm like, people know like I'm roasting, but I'm like kind hearted, bro. I don't want to see you like cry or nothing. But like, I'm like, yo, bro, why'd you post that? You know what I'm saying? And as soon as I walk into the cafeteria, the AP, he grabs me and he pulls me into the office. He's like, so is this your lunch period? I'm like, no. He was like, so why are you here? I was like, well, I asked to go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? He's like, well, why are you in a lunch? I was like, I seen her, this thing happen. We were just talking about it. I was asking her like, how's she feeling? You know what I'm saying? Playing it off, right? He picks up my phone. Police come in there. They say, if we find this picture on your phone, they said, we're going to, because I was arrest 17, right? At the time. So they're like, we're going to arrest you if this is like, I'm like, what? Are y'all serious? So that happened. They tried to, they were going through my phone to see if they could arrest me for child pornography. And
keep in mind, she was not naked in the
she was not naked in this picture. And it was a picture that she posted on Facebook. So, he's going through my phone, all that stuff. Then they tried to kick me off, but we had like a couple more weeks of the basketball season. They were trying to speed run, get me out of that school, bro. It was bad.
Bro, when that situation came about, the magnitude of how it was on the internet translated to that's why they took action, because of how many people were coming up to. Really, me and her had a conversation prior to going to school the next day, and she told me, thank you. She liked the attention. I literally said this on the news. I told the news people, like, she told me that she liked the attention. Like, she told me that I asked her if she wanted me to delete it. Yeah. Like, and she told me no, she liked the attention. So the next day, people are giving her the attention. You feel what I'm saying? And like, it became a school disruption. Yeah. And the way I worded the tweet, I put Mountain View High School in the tweet. So it made it a school disruption. And I what is the terminology they use? They said that I was inciting inciting bullying on the internet. You feel what I'm saying? Inciting her to be bullied in school from the internet. Yeah. But that wasn't my goal. Like, I didn't want her to be getting bullied. And like, the kids who were actually coming up to her and actually bullying her, she deserved to be roasted for posting that picture anyway. Yeah. Like if we're being completely honest with the situation, if anything, she deserved to get made fun of by her peers for that photo, because she needed to know that shit wasn't okay. Well, she might have just been ahead of the time for OnlyFans. Hey, actually, she might have been a visionary. Yeah. She might have been a visionary, because that was real early day OnlyFans content. Yeah. And people treated it as such, because it wasn't like she was like one of the baddies in the school. Yeah. Like, she was a regular. I hope she don't see this, but like, it's like, and niggas really gravitated towards that picture. Like, the world gravitated towards that picture because of the funniness behind it, not because of the sexuality behind it. And that's what they weren't understanding. As the adults in the situation weren't understanding that we were not sexualizing her. We were making fun of her. Here's the thing, though.
they aren't part. The people who were in power there weren't part of our culture.
Right.
That's why they hated the battle
Right.
raps. They sent what was the officer's name?
Officer Bennett.
Officer Bennett. They sent Officer Bennett out to break up
A cipher, bro.
Yeah.
A rap cipher. Like,
because I think Brendan did the first one, and it was making its rounds, right? And then we had the one with me and Prince that made its rounds, and it was like this Mountain View hip hop thing
Right.
going on Twitter. And so when we did that battle, he's like, listen, break this up. Don't let them do this no more. That's why I had to battle Jamal way down the parking lot.
Yep, I remember that.
And then he broke that one up too.
I remember. I didn't understand at the time why we were not able to do that. Like, you know, when stuff happens to you as a kid, like, you can't really do shit.
Yeah.
So like, you stuck trying to and you don't. Adults don't feel like they need to give you an explanation.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck, especially me not like being able and cool with any of the higher ups to be able to say like, yo, like, why is this happening? Like, why are we being so like, you just stuck wondering until you get old enough to realize like, oh shit, like they didn't want these little black kids making their school
look black.
Yeah. Like they rap after school and shit like that. They wanted their school to be what it is now.
Yeah.
Predominantly white, and that's what they do. That's what it is.
You know, it's the crazy thing though. The demographic breakdown was 50-50.
I know,
when
like
we went.
I know it was very inclusive. Like it was, but it was so. Even we had black teachers, like, but it was just like such a obvious and such a blatant difference in how a lot of the black kids were treated and a lot of the white kids were treated, because keep in mind, what made our school 50-50 white wasn't because of the area we were in.
It was because
of the transfers.
Yeah.
We got 200 kids from Berkmar.
Yeah.
And kids from Central.
Yep.
And kids from
Collins
here.
Hill, yeah.
And kids who are, at that time, everybody and their mother was moving from New York and Jersey down here. And we just landing here like it's Plymouth Rock. And we all just... These kids, just all these different type of kids, is now going to this brand new school. These folks don't even know what they doing.
Yeah,
for real. They are learning how to be administrators and principals and stuff like that. They might have been at other schools prior to this opportunity, but for the most part, it was a brand new school. You were the first class, right? The first full class.
I don't know because I wasn't there the whole time.
Oh, you weren't there the whole time, right? But like, I know, like. When my freshman year was the second year the school was open, or like the third year or something like that. So it was like everything was brand new. They were trying to find their identity, and it was just like, we're not about to let these black kids make this the identity of our school. How Shiloh, or what the fuck was that one song? Where you at? Who?
Grayson.
Yeah. Like, we're not about to let our school be a Grayson or a Shiloh or a Berkmar.
Yeah.
Where like. We're gonna control this, and that's why they were so fucking mad when we took that shit to the media, because it's like, how dare you, little nigga?
Yeah.
Like, try to tell on us.
Yeah.
Like we the ones, like, what you think? Like, but that shit worked, and that's why I say there was a target on my back ever since after that. I mean, bro, I was getting suspended for like going to every student in the world has gone to the bathroom and took too long. Yeah. Everybody's done it. I was getting not expelled, suspended for taking too long in the bathroom. Yep. Like, it would be like they would go down my schedule and they would talk to my teachers and be like, yo, anything this little motherfucker does,
let us know. Let us know. We trying to get him out of here.
Because we trying to, exactly. Yeah. And when you're young, you don't think shit like that's going on because you feel like these people are honorable people. Yeah. They're the ones presiding over you. So you feel like, nah, these teachers ain't at lunch talking shit about me. Yeah. Bruh, I'm here to tell you that these folks are in their break room literally talking shit about the kids here. Yeah. Like, and so me doing all this extra dextra shit, like, these folks is talking about this shit, and so they really gave it a very concerted effort to kick me out, and they almost beat them, but they got me the Monday before prom.
Wow.
It was the Monday before prom when they kicked me out. And
Yeah.
my date, I still have never talked to her again. She was so pissed, bro. Like, she had bought her. I made her like not have a prom group.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, nigga, like I'm gonna take you. Like, you don't gotta worry about no group. We gonna go just me and you. We gonna be fine. Like, and so she ain't had no prom group, nothing like that. She had her dress already and all that shit. And then I got kicked out. And I have literally never spoken a word to her again. Like, we were friends on Facebook. She would not hit me back. That was bad.
Hey, listen, come on the podcast, tell your side of the story.
Please. I don't know if I honestly don't know if you married or anything right now, so I'm gonna say no names. But if you see this interview, man, like, my bad.
Yeah. But yeah, that, bro, crazy stories that we went through, you know what I'm saying? But tell everybody where they can find you before we get up out of here.
You can find me on Twitter at YtnWink, Instagram at YtnWink, and Spotify, YtnWink, YouTube, YTN, everywhere YtnWink, and TikTok as well. We on TikTok. We're doing 82K on TikTok right now, so go follow me on TikTok. And I'm looking to put out a new project here before the end of the year. That's my goal, is to get it out fourth quarter. So,
any names in mind for it?
As far as titles,
yeah,
I've been thinking about a couple, but as I go through more in life, like my raps be like really like what I'm going through at the time. So like, my last tape was Winks World, the pandemic, because it was a pandemic.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And on that shit, the first song on my tape was Out on Bond, because I had just got out on bond.
Yeah.
And like in the song, I literally say, I just popped a perk. Now I'm driving fast. I was just locked in the cell with a jumpsuit and COVID mask.
Yeah.
Like, that shit really just happened.
Yeah.
Like, so it really is just gonna take for, something to inspire me for like, oh yeah, this needs to be the name of this tape. Like, cause with pandemic was just like so like obvious to me, like needed to be the name of that one. But like, it's not a pandemic anymore. We back to regular life. So
yeah, facts.
I gotta see. But yeah, I appreciate you having me down here, man.
No,
for sure, man.
Yeah.
I fuck with what you're doing. Reactions, this new shit, bro. We definitely gotta keep locking in and keep.
Oh yeah, for sure. Next time you come, you know what I'm saying, we're
culture.
gonna have multiple cameras, you know what I'm saying,
For
all
sure.
types of.
Maybe next time I could bring some more YTN and we could really gang up in here.
Oh yeah,
and really
for sure.
Really see what more of the movement is about and stuff like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
We'll get into that for sure. But y'all head over to his social media. I'm gonna link it down below. You know what I'm saying? But until the next video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Hit us on Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher, all of that. And we're gonna see y'all later. Peace.